Bonjour tout le monde. Welcome back to my channel Learn French with Anuj. Today's video is all about handling role plays for your speaking exam. Yes, the role play. The first part of your speaking exam. You must have watched my previous video on the pattern. If not, please look at that video first. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to handle role play questions in an effective manner. See, this is how the card. So this is the card 1 where it is written like that. Candidate card 1. Fine. You know where it is written. You're the role and you have one scenario with you. And then it's written candidat vous-même. Vous-même means you yourself is the candidate. Then professor. Employee dans un centre sportif is the employee in a sports center. So you need to understand the role play in an effective manner to handle this particular section, which is the first section for your speaking exam. What are the elements which are fixed in each card? That element is that sure the role is always written on top. This candidat vous-même is written, and whatever the role professor plays is always written. And here is written le or la professor. If your professor is female, it means that becomes la professor. If the teacher is male, then le professor. So he or she va commencer le jeu de rôle. So teacher is going to start the role play, and it's written répondez à toutes les questions. So you need to answer all the questions to get 10 marks. Why I am saying 10 marks? Because each question carries 2 marks. And on second part, which is conversation, which we are not doing in this video, this will be in my next video where I will be talking about the conversation. So there are basically 2 conversations, 2 topics you need to answer after the role play. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the role play, guys. This is the card you get, and the teacher has basically this card with him or her. Remember, that's why if you look at the file name, if you have a sample papers access, the TN, wherever the file name TN is written, that is for the teachers. That's a teacher's copy basically. Cambridge sends this to the school, and school further gives to the teacher to ask these fixed questions. So teacher is just a facilitator. Teacher doesn't have any major role to play. I mean the selection of questions and all those stuff. So teacher is going to ask these 5 questions to the student. And see, the role play is something where you need only a one-liner answer. Fine, only a one-liner answer. You don't need to give a longer answers because it takes 1 to 2 minutes to finish this up. There is no specific time limit. That's why it's mentioned that in 1 to 2 minutes we need to finish these 5 questions, because only specific to the point answers are needed. So this scenario is given for the teacher, the same scenario which you have in your card. For example, here is written, let's look at the one role play. Vous voulez jouer au tennis en France? Vous voulez, this is from the vouloir verb, which means to want, and this is the conjugation of the vouloir verb. Vous voulez jouer au tennis en France. You want to play tennis in France. Again, vous allez. Vous allez is the aller verb conjugation with vous. So you are going to the sports center pour réserver un cours de tennis. To reserve a cours de tennis means a tennis court. Fine. So you are the person who is going to the sports center basically. Fine. To reserve the tennis court. So candidate is you are the candidate. You are going to reserve the place. You have to reserve the place. There are certain 5 questions which the teacher needs to ask, and teacher is playing the role employee dans un centre sportif. Scenario given for you, and the same scenario is written here. See, the teacher will read the scenario for you before starting the conversation. So teacher says scenario pour vous, scenario for you. Vous voulez jouer au tennis en France. Vous allez au centre sportif pour réserver un cours de tennis. Now this is something is extra which is written for the teacher. Je suis l'employé du centre sportif. I am the employee of this sports. Here are the 5 questions. Guys, there are the 5 questions which you need to handle. Now before I move ahead, you need to understand the question words. Please note down all these question words so that we can handle this effectively. So now let's look at the question words. So these are the French question words I'm talking about. You should memorize by heart. भैया दिल से याद कर लो. Now remember the pronunciation. Please repeat after me. The first word is quand. Quand. Quand means when. It means when the question starts with quand, you need to give the particular time frame. You know, for example, last year, l'année dernière, le mois dernier, le weekend dernier. So these kind of answers. So when, it means you need to tell the time frame. Please remember again, repeat after me. Quand. Can you repeat? Quand. The next word is pourquoi. Please remember pourquoi. Pourquoi. Please repeat after me. Pourquoi, which means why. It means whenever the question starts with pourquoi, your answer should be with either the word car or parce que. Car or parce que. Remember, car or parce que. Fine. Now the next word is où. This word où, which means this où, which means where. Où habites-tu, for example? Where do you live? Comment means how. Comment tu vas au collège, for example? How do you go to the college, you know? So comment. Comment means how. So it means here we need a transport. Remember, so these words will help you to crack this role plays. So do not ignore these words. So let's repeat the first four words. First four words: quand, pourquoi, où, and comment. Now the next two words, que and quoi. Que means what and quoi also means what. What is the difference? Placement of these two words. Que will be used at the beginning of the sentence if you have to use as what, and quoi will be used at the end of the sentence. So remember, quand, pourquoi, où, comment, que, quoi, and then the next is qui, who. Now avec qui, with whom, right? So just remember, avec qui, with whom. À quelle heure, at what time. À quelle heure, can you pronounce à quelle heure? If the teacher will pronounce, maybe it will be difficult to understand, so please you repeat it so that you have a habit of speaking and listening the same words, and it will be easier for you to understand when the teacher is speaking. So it's better that you also speak these words. So I hope these question words are clear to you guys. So this is all about question words. So now see, those questions will be there in the role plays. These questions which I have discussed, maybe some few other things I'll be explaining side by side so that it is easier for you to handle. Do not miss, please watch until the end because I know it's a lengthy video, but it's really helpful. I'm telling you, this will help you because we'll be practicing together and you yourself is going to answer. This is what we are going to do in this video. So keep watching, stay with me, don't miss the next part of the video. Let's go. Yes, this is where we left earlier. Now let's move ahead a little bit on top, how the teacher starts the recording. Fine, so this is the card with the teacher, this is the teacher notes. So before the test, what is going to happen? Before the test, teacher will read his or her name. Fine, for example, if I'm the teacher, I'll say teacher's name Mr. Anuj Jindal, for example. And then I will read whatever is the candidate's number. For example, then I will say the candidate's number, or I will say in French, le numéro du candidat. Then candidate's name, here Anita Sheng, for example, the candidate card number. So this card number is spoken by the teacher, and then the date of the exam. Now teacher will greet you with the bonjour. If the boy is giving the role play, then teacher will say bonjour monsieur. If it's a girl, teacher will say bonjour mademoiselle. Ça va? and then you have to respond ça va, très bien, something like that. Then the teacher will say on va commencer, are we going to start or we are starting? Vous êtes prête? Vous êtes prête means are you ready? So your answer should be oui, je suis prêt. Je suis prêt is for boys and je suis prête is for girls. So that's the difference. So this is the role play questions which we are going to handle now one by one. So the first question, bonjour monsieur or bonjour mademoiselle, quel jour voulez-vous jouer au tennis? So this is a very common word in the role plays, quel jour. Remember, please repeat after me, quel jour, or listen carefully, quel jour, what day. Do not confuse with the verb jouer. Jouer is another word which means to play. I have seen the students are confused with jour and jouer. Jouer is to play. So here, quel jour. Quel means what or which. Quel means what or which. Remember, I'll zoom it. This quel, okay, quel jour, what day or which day. Fine. So quel jour, and then the inversion formation of the question. Voulez-vous. For example, here is written vous voulez means you want. Here, that's the inversion formation of the question which becomes do you want. Remember, vous voulez, you want. Voulez-vous, inversion of this becomes do you want. So, quel jour voulez-vous jouer au tennis? So, can you think of the answer? Take 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how will you respond? Simple. So you need to talk about the day. What is I want? I want is je veux. So remember, these are the few expressions you should remember. I want is je veux. I want, je veux. Remember, je veux jouer au tennis ce lundi, cette semaine, ce weekend. So any particular day you can tell for this answer. The second question is again easy. For you, the important thing is à quelle heure. It means at what time. How you pronounce this? À quelle heure. This we have done in the question words session. So à quelle heure. At what time. So at what time? Voulez-vous jouer? You want to play. So again you will respond with je veux jouer. I want to play, and then you say à and then the time. Je veux jouer à 7 heures, je veux jouer à 8 heures. You want to add du matin or du soir. Du matin means in the morning, du soir means in the evening. Okay, so that's the second answer to the question. Je veux jouer à 7 heures, je veux jouer à 8 heures, 9 heures, or these are whatever. You just have to memorize one time and you just give the answer and your 2 marks are done. Now the next question. Third question, remember, when the word est-ce que is used, just to frame any sentence into a question. That's how est-ce que is used. For example, vous préférez means you prefer. The moment est-ce que is added, it becomes do you prefer. Fine, it becomes do you prefer. So est-ce que vous préférez, do you prefer. So remember, est-ce que, it is not qu'est-ce que. Fine, est-ce que vous préférez, do you prefer. Now there is a choice. Remember, jouer à l'intérieur ou means or à l'extérieur. So you have to just, vous préférez would be je préfère. Remember, je préfère, and you need to select one of these and your work is done for the first part of the third question. So remember, third, fourth and fifth question, you need to give the extra information. It is, for example, in the third question it says est-ce que vous préférez jouer à l'intérieur ou à l'extérieur. So the answer would be, for example, I can choose either of these. I'll say je préfère jouer à l'intérieur. Why I prefer to play in the interiors, then I need to give the second pass. So firstly you need to just answer this. You don't have to give the details saying parce que until and unless teacher asks you. So after the pause, the teacher will say pourquoi? Parce que je joue au badminton. Because badminton is an indoor sport, so you will say je joue au badminton. Let's say you choose à l'extérieur, je préfère à l'extérieur for example. Then I will say parce que je joue au foot, right? Or je voudrais jouer au foot. I would like to play football. Or je préfère jouer au foot. Something like that, which just pass the information. So again, 2 marks are done. So if you give this answer and you don't reply to this, you will get 1 mark. As simple as that. Now the 4th question. Look at the word quand. This again we have discussed. Quand, est-ce que, when, do or does. So when and then est-ce que as it, that becomes a question. Whenever after quand, est-ce que is used, the D, the sound of D is a little different. It is quand est-ce que. It's kind of T. So remember, this is something confusing sometimes. So you need to listen carefully. So I'll repeat for you. Quand est-ce que. Quand est-ce que. Quand est-ce que vous avez joué au tennis pour la dernière fois, for the last time? If there is an avoir verb and then the past participle of the verb, please do check out the passé composé sections or just look at the internet what is passé composé to know why it is past tense. So quand est-ce que vous avez joué au tennis pour la dernière fois? This is a very common word used in the role plays. For the last time, it means if you are talking about last time, it means this is past tense. Even if you have not understood this, please remember this, la dernière fois. It means we are seeking the answer in the past tense. So again, form the answer. Vous avez means you need to change with the je and avoir verb comes into the picture. J'ai and then the jouer will remain as it is. J'ai joué au tennis. Right? Now here for the last time, it means you need to talk about when is the last time. So you can say le weekend dernier, or you can say hier, which is yesterday. You can say le mois dernier, last month, hier matin, yesterday morning, hier soir, yesterday evening. So there are various options you can talk about in detail for this. And c'était avec qui, it was with whom. Qui you have done, who or whom. So avec qui is with whom. So this is how you need to handle the question number 4. Now comes the question number 5. Quel autre sport voudriez-vous essayer? So voudriez-vous, remember this is again very common. Would you like to? So quel autre sport, which other sports? So remember here it was quel jour. Here we are talking about which other sports would you like to try. So always rephrase from here. Voudriez-vous would be je voudrais. Voulez-vous would be je veux. For example, if you have talked about badminton in the 3rd question, then you can talk about je voudrais essayer le tennis, je voudrais essayer le foot. Any 1 or 2 sports is fine. Okay. Pourquoi? Then again you need to give the answer as parce que j'aime jouer des nouveaux sports. I love to play new sports. Or you can say mon ami aime jouer ce sport. My friend loves to play this sport. So you need to give any simple answer on this. This is how the role play goes. Please do like, do subscribe for more videos. Take care. All the best. We're waiting for good marks. Take care.